I was shocked when I heard about it. There's a leaked video circulating on the internet and everyone is talking about it. It involves Usher and Justin Bieber in their younger years. For a long time, there have been rumours that Diddy was strict with the young stars he worked with, and this footage could finally put an end to those rumours. What exactly did he do to them when we talk about being strict? Everyone wants to know. So get ready for this juicy part. Welcome to our channel. Before we dive into the hot material, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Everyone is talking about Diddy and his influence in the music industry. He's famous for discovering talents like Usher, but not all of his stories are positive. There's a rumour that he didn't always look out for Usher as he should have, and listen to this. There are some rumours that he was a bit too intrusive with Justin Bieber when he was a teenager. I think we all know what's meant. Everyone is talking about how Diddy and Bieber were practically inseparable when Bieber was just 15 years old. In the video making the rounds, you can see Diddy gifting Bieber a Lamborghini and talking about Bieber being able to drive it when he turned 16. Allegedly, the two had a great time together, like something out of a teenage dream, including unforgettable experiences and exciting adventures. There are rumours that Diddy took on some sort of guardianship for Bieber for a short time, similar to what he did for Usher when he was recording his first album. Of course, why not just adopt for the album time? Some people believe that Diddy pulled Bieber into adult dramas far too early, and honestly, I share that opinion. Any donkey can figure out what happens when a child skips the phase of being, well, a child, if you can call it that. By the time they're adults, they're psychologically broken. Stars like Bieber need solid guidance and shouldn't be thrown into the deep end before they're ready. But that's not the only topic of conversation about Diddy. There are also multiple allegations and other unsavory dramas swirling around him. It's difficult to say what's true, but with former employees and insiders questioning Diddy's actions and even the reasons behind them, it's hard to ignore. Even though some of it should be taken with a grain of salt, it's fascinating how people connect Diddy's influence with the issues Usher and Bieber have experienced. There seems to be some negative vibes from Usher's early days with Diddy, especially given all of his legal troubles. And Bieber? He's openly talked about his own struggles with addiction and legal issues. He openly talks about a time when he drank lean and consumed other weird substances. Returning to Usher, he's been in the spotlight since childhood. In 2016, he told Howard Stern that hanging out with Puff Daddy at the age of 14 was his real crash course in fame. I can imagine throwing a child into a world where there are practically no limits. Very healthy for development, right? Usher told stories of the Puffy Flavour camp. Oh man, why does that sound so perverse? Imagine this young Usher impressing L.A. Reid with his music, and the next thing you know, he's flying to New York to live the high life with Puffy at the peak of Bad Boy Records. It's no surprise that big names like Jay-Z and Diddy are under scrutiny for their past actions. When you've been at the top as long as they have, controversy is almost inevitable. With all the talk, it's no surprise that Diddy has had some legal troubles lately, and just when you think you've heard it all, something new pops up in the headlines. Usher recently made headlines again after releasing some old comments about his teenage years spent with Diddy. All the speculation resurfaced after federal agents searched Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami as part of ongoing investigations. Although Diddy hasn't been charged and is upset about the raids, which he describes as excessive, people can't stop talking about it. And that's understandable because what's now being uncovered, many already had a feeling about. I think this is just the beginning of something bigger, as Kodak Black's lawyer already mentioned. And by the way, please leave a like. It's damn hard work to produce these videos. Flashback to 2016. Usher opened up on the Howard Stern show about his time with Diddy in the 1990s, and the interview has resurfaced on social media. Imagine Usher at the age of 14 or 15 in Diddy's house while he's filming his parties. Unbelievable. I've seen a few things. It was crazy." Usher told Robin Quivers, Stern's co-host, nudging a bit and asking if women were flirting with him. Usher stayed cool and hinted that curious things were happening, but he told he was mainly there to focus on his music. At the time, Usher was the only kid among Diddy's rising stars. Which makes you think Diddy's place was just filled with chicks and non-stop action, right? Usher said that despite his young age, he had the chance to see a lot. I wonder, what did you see?" he continued, saying that he didn't even understand what he was seeing. It was pretty wild. At the age of 13, Usher impressed LaFace Records co-founder Antonio L.A. Reid, who signed him. But marketing a young talent like Usher wasn't an easy task, so Reid devised a plan and sent him to Diddy to give his image some flair. Reid's request to Diddy was pretty straightforward. "Can you give him some of your flair?" He wanted Usher to move away from the typical pretty songs LaFace was known for. It was a risky move to send young Usher into the heart of the party scene with Diddy, but it proved to be a wise decision. Usher had the opportunity to meet legends like Notorious Big and Mary J. Blige, which firsthand showed him what it was like to be a celebrity. But Diddy wasn't just a party thrower, he was also a mentor. He did more than just introduce Usher to the high life. He also made sure the young star stayed on track with his education, even giving Usher pocket money to keep him out of trouble. Diddy helped kickstart Usher's career by even producing his debut album in 1994. When asked about his time in Diddy's camp, Usher replied that he probably wouldn't be who he is today. How is that to be understood? He explained that it was a completely new environment back then, and he had to quickly adapt to it. Amidst all the uncertainty he expressed in the interview, he also mentioned that it was good for him, from a musical perspective, to be taken under Diddy's wing. This way, he learned everything he needed for his own career. The whole relationship with the people around Diddy was brotherly. "I felt included," said Usher. He often thinks back to the time when Diddy founded his label, Bad Boy Records. While Usher's song wasn't an immediate hit, it paved the way for future successes. During the interview, Howard Stern asked if Usher would leave his own children with Diddy, to which Usher responded with a clear no. This unequivocal rejection is particularly eyebrow-raising in light of the recently emerged disturbing allegations against Diddy. Yes, it's quite crazy. The accusations were made by Cassie and Lil Rod, paint a picture of a lifestyle unsuitable for children. For example, Cassie's lawsuit contains serious accusations of physical harm and pressure into compromising situations. Her experiences suggest a pattern of manipulation and control, casting doubt on the kind of environment Diddy might create around himself. Then there's Lil Rod, whose allegations of manipulation and harm during the work on the Love album highlight the dangers associated with being in Diddy's inner circle. Given the circumstances, it's understandable that Usher, despite his formative and positive experiences with Diddy as a young artist, hesitates to expose his children to such an environment. Usher's experiences, while beneficial in some ways, occurred when the darker sides of the music industry were not as openly scrutinized as they are today. His cautious approach to protecting his children likely stems from a better understanding of the complexities and challenges that come with growing up in the spotlight. A wisdom reinforced by the recently emerged disturbing allegations against Diddy. This represents a shift towards more conscious parenting in the entertainment industry, aiming to protect children from potentially dangerous situations. Both Usher and Justin Bieber have had the unique experience of being thrust into fame at a young age under Diddy's guidance, perhaps too young to fully grasp the complex mechanisms of the entertainment industry. Usher was introduced to the high-energy life at Diddy's Puffy Flavour camp as a teenager, giving him insight into the allure and dangers of fame, which he navigated with a mix of awe and caution. Justin Bieber, mentored by Usher and meeting Diddy during his formative years, found himself in the spotlight. He was exposed to luxurious amenities and experiences that most teenagers can hardly comprehend. This parallel in their life paths underscores the challenges young stars face when introduced too early into adult worlds, often shaped by influential figures like Diddy, before they are fully prepared to deal with the consequences. These uncomfortable clips of Diddy with young Justin Bieber have resurfaced, similar to those with Usher, especially following the federal raids on Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles. In these videos, a nervous Bieber, then about 16 years old, is seen being interrogated by Diddy about why he kept his distance. The Homeland Security conducted these raids as part of an extensive investigation. Diddy's legal team sharply criticised the raids, claiming that the authorities had used excessive force. Despite the raids, Diddy was not arrested and even spoke with the authorities. Neither he nor his family members were arrested, and they are free to travel, according to his lawyer. If I were in his place, I would never set foot in America again and retreat to the mountains. Diddy finds himself in the midst of a storm. Lil Rod's lawsuit has ignited the internet with stories of private jets and wild parties, and in the midst of it all, we have Diddy. As federal authorities continue their investigations, let's shine a light on Lil Rod. He is a Grammy-nominated producer from Chicago. After working on Diddy's Love album for a year, Lil Rod claims that he was treated unfairly in terms of cash publishing shares and royalties. I spent a year working hard on this album. I should be celebrating, but the truth is, this album has cost me so much time. You know, months, 16 to 24 hours a day. Sometimes Diddy would request certain tasks and tell us not to sleep until they were done. And the truth is, we would have been awake for days to achieve that. I tried to sort out my business with them regarding this album, but the truth is, they aren't playing fair. They've hit me below the belt in so many situations. It's the contract they forced me into, and the offer they made me was just disgusting. My friend, as harsh as it sounds, you were deceived and exploited. Lil Rod is taking a huge risk by suing Diddy despite the high costs involved. Over the past 6 months, he has tried in vain to reach a settlement with Diddy. Diddy completely ignored Lil Rod. In the video, he explains that the whole situation made him feel helpless. He has laid out everything in a massive 79-page lawsuit, detailing his interactions with Diddy in depth. He was in Diddy's swanky clubs in LA and Miami and was practically available around the clock to record everything. And Rod has hours of footage showing Diddy and his crew engaged in some seriously questionable activities. Then there's the Hollywood-level drama, like the 10 days on September 12, 2022, spent in a recording studio with Diddy, his son Justin, and a guy named G. Shots were fired, resulting in someone bleeding on the floor just meters away from Rod. The incident has left Diddy completely shaken, but Rod and Cassie's lawsuits are just the beginning of his problems. Federal authorities are searching his properties in Los Angeles and Miami, staging scenes straight out of a blockbuster movie, all as part of a major investigation. Cassie was the first to stab Diddy in the back, triggering this significant chain of events. Imagine helicopters circling overhead and federal agents swarming out. It's a full-blown Hollywood action scene right at your doorstep. Almost like in the video of Biggie when Diddy drove the getaway car. Footage of Diddy's son Christian, with his hands raised, pressed against the wall and then handcuffed. Diddy's son Justin then appears with his hands on his head, and the agents seem to be leading him down the hallway. The released clip ends with another man being dragged out of the house by the agents and onto the driveway. The Homeland Security investigations are deeply committed to solving this case and are working with local law enforcement to uncover the truth. Diddy has remained silent throughout the entire incident. Douglas Wigdor, Cassie's lawyer, fully supports law enforcement's efforts to hold Diddy accountable. Tyrone Blackburn, who represents some of the accusers, stated that it's time for Diddy to face the consequences. This raid is directly related to the recent lawsuits filed against Diddy. One thing is certain, Diddy is bracing for a storm beyond the lawsuits. In November, Cassie made serious allegations against Diddy, accusing him of some vile things. She wasn't alone. 2 more women shared their horrifying stories during Thanksgiving week. Diddy vehemently denies the accusations, as he has little choice but to do, but the pressure is mounting. He has even stepped down from his position at Revolt TV, and several companies have begun to distance themselves from him. It seems Diddy is in for a tough time, and his son could also be caught in the storm, inheriting some of the troublesome traits. Diddy's son, Christian Combs, is currently facing serious allegations. He is accused of inappropriately touching a woman named Grayson Marquet during a yacht trip organized by Diddy. What was intended as a family-friendly event allegedly escalated into a wild party, setting a grim tone just before Diddy's big New Year's Eve bash. The lawsuit filed in Los Angeles accuses Christian of several things. Diddy is also being sued for premises liability and alleged support of his son's violent act. So, he may not get off lightly. However, Diddy's legal team is fighting hard against it. They have deemed the lawsuit inappropriate and baseless, stating that it should be dismissed in court today. Christian Combs, Diddy's son, is accused of assaulting a woman on his father's yacht. The claims have been detailed in a new lawsuit filed in Los Angeles. Both men are named in the lawsuit, but only Christian Combs is accused. Meanwhile, Tyrone Blackburn, the plaintiff's attorney, has highlighted a disturbing pattern indicating that Christian's alleged behavior is related to his father's previous actions. Grayson's allegations are serious. She claims that Christian drugged and assaulted her, allegedly having audio recordings to support her claims. According to her, the atmosphere on the yacht was chaotic, with suspected sex workers, celebrities, and frequent drug use, far from the intended family-friendly outing. Grace suspected the drinks were tampered with, and the situation quickly escalated after Christian arrived at the party, already intoxicated. He began pressuring her to take shots with him. The lawsuit contains some disturbing audio recordings, including Grace repeatedly saying no to more alcohol and Christian pressuring her. NBC News was able to obtain some recordings from that night, although the identities of those filmed have not been confirmed yet. In one clip, Grace tells Christian to keep his hands off her legs while he pleads for her to stay. Grace attempted to escape the situation by taking him to the yacht cinema for some privacy. Photos of cuts on Grace's arm, which she attributes to Christian, add to the story. She claims she was only able to fend him off when someone else entered the room. Since the alleged incident, Grace's life is said to have changed. Grace's suffering did not end with the alleged assault. When she reported the incident, she received an overwhelming sense of disbelief and rejection, which caused her trauma. She lost her job and has since struggled with serious mental and physical health issues, including anxiety, panic attacks, eating disorders, and seizures. She is now seeking justice in court, with her lawyers praising her courage and hoping her story will inspire others to come forward. Meanwhile, Christian's father, Diddy, finds himself embroiled in his own legal battles after several women accused him of similar things. The situation worsened last month when Homeland Security searched Diddy's homes and seized weapons and phones as part of a larger investigation. This real-life drama unfolds in public, and everyone is eager to see what happens next. Diddy's lawyer continues to emphasize his innocence, stating that he should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. But the accusations don't end with Diddy. Believe it or not, the conflict has the potential to bring even more prominent names into the fray. There are reports suggesting that Kris Jenner's boyfriend, Corey Gamble, could also be involved in questionable activities, given the Kardashians' close relationship with Diddy. This theory isn't as far-fetched as it may seem, and adds another layer to the already complicated situation. Just 24 hours before their home was searched, Kim Kardashian was seen hanging out with Diddy, adding to the ongoing drama. The Kardashians have long been associated with some controversial figures, but what if the shady business is closer than we realize? Oh, what if there's actually an anchor in deeper, darker connections within the music industry? Rapper Kanye had claimed something similar about the Kardashians just a few months ago. This saga is going to be a roller coaster. Diddy and his entourage are facing a tough time with mounting lawsuits, federal searches, and accusations coming from all directions. The drama surrounding Diddy and his son Christian could outshine any Hollywood script, from scandalous yacht parties to serious allegations of misconduct. The constant spotlight on the Combs family reveals the harsher realities that lie beneath the celebrity world. As this real-life drama unfolds, it serves as an important reminder of what often lurks beneath the glitz and glamour, whether in the courtroom or in the public eye. The truth, whatever it may be, will eventually come to light as the world watches each new revelation and adds another layer to this complex story. We all hope for justice, healing, and ultimately peace after the storm. So, what do you think about this unfolding drama? Is everything true, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Did Diddy really force Usher and Justin Bieber into situations they weren't prepared for? Or were these just stumbling blocks on their path to fame? What are your thoughts on the allegations involving the Combs family and their close connections? Let us know what you think about this story, which is both complex and gripping. Until next time.